Jabba Radio. Jabba Radio. Jabba Radio. Wrestling podcast featuring Rom and Bomber and Rab and the one, the only, Peanut. Jabba Radio.
I have things to say, so let's get this party rolling.
Does it have to be wrestling related?
What?
I don't think Crossfire's happening, buddy.
Oh, it is cousin, he gets moving, no.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a new Jabba Radio. I am the one and only show saver Peanut, and I am back to resurrect Jabba Radio to the greatness you
Fuck
all
you,
once
Peanut.
considered.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about? I've been carrying this show. Hey, but me and you, Peanut, we're here together. We can save this show together, because Bomber is just awful.
I was about to say, who the hell am I? Just some no-name?
Oh, no, you're awful. Me and you, Peanut, let's do this.
Jesus Christ.
We're rolling here. We're live.
I think we should call Rab at work right now.
No, we are live right now. You know, I'm not going to redo anything. We're live.
We are not. What? We are not live.
We're pretending we are live. But yes, I'm Peanut. I am back. I know I've been getting emails, tweets, faxes. My fax machine has been going crazy. You've all...
Wow.
Fax. No one faxes. But you all wanted me back. I am back by popular demand, and I am excited. But the show can't just be about me, even though it should, but...
I'm about to say I'm surprised.
But my first co-host, as always, Matt Zion and Rom. What's up?
You take the good, you do the show without Rab. That's the facts of you, Peanut. I'm doing well.
I'm doing well.
I'm doing well.
But you hear him there. B-Rex, what's up?
Now it's B-Rex. It went from B-Dog to B-Rex.
Well, you said no B-Dog, so I had to change it up.
Wow, you are a legend. Yes, I'm here. What's going on? And this is in memory of Rab, who got married this past weekend.
Which he didn't tell me.
Yeah,
I didn't know either.
Yep.
No invite, no Jabba Radio invites.
I'm surprised we didn't get like front rows right beside mom and dad there.
Like not even like, hey, if you're gonna be in Florida, why don't you drop by my wedding?
What a piece of shit. He just treats us like fucking whores.
Yep.
Yeah, he talks to us, once a week and nothing.
We're co-whores.
Tell him you're sorry.
Co-hosts, but with whores. Oh man, that was awful.
But yeah, anyways, yeah. If you see him, tell him you're sorry, because he's now locked up.
But
yeah, poor guy.
Oh, locked up in jail. But once again though, we're recording on a Monday after Raw. I mean, like Raw happened
Literally
about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yep.
But so Raw is fresh once again. I mean, it's good. I personally didn't see Raw because I was at work and I came home and Raw was on the TV. I saw Sheamus and I was like, But Rom and Bomber.
I saw Sheamus and
saw Sheamus. I don't know.
But these guys saw Raw. So, Rom, what do you think overall of Raw?
I watched Raw specifically so that I could film this. I didn't even want to watch Raw. Because I made it halfway through last week's and I just turned it off. Because I was so fucking bored with the product that they're putting out right now. This week's Raw was pretty goddamn awful too. I think it's kind of sad when the best thing going on right now is the Ziggler, Swagger, and Del Rio feud. That seems to be easily the most entertaining thing that's happening. Everything else is just filler. I was pretty fucking bored the entire time watching the show. There wasn't even a match that stood out as the best match. There was nothing that was memorable at all.
That AJ match was pretty good.
I skipped through that
entire
goddamn thing.
No. No, she'll probably fight for the title at the pay-per-view.
Well, I know they're planning on giving his whole group, Ziggler's whole group, a title. I think
They better. I wouldn't see why not. That's a good idea.
Well.
No, it was just a regular Divas match, but that actually leads me to my thing later on tonight, which I'm going to do, the Raging Roundtable, but we'll get to that later. But I thought it was the main event seemed to be Kane versus Ryback. What the hell?
Oh, I saw the tail of the tape.
Are they back to doing tail of the tape
Ryback's
now?
achievement.
They did.
Ryback's
They did.
achievement. Shell-shocking Mark Henry. His only achievement in WWE.
After he lost
They
to
should have
him.
thrown also losing at every single pay-per-view.
Seriously.
Dude, no, that is.
And I like Kane's achievement though too. It's like out of everything he's done, it's like throwing out a bunch of people at the Royal Rumble. But
Yeah. Well, at least Kane's had like world titles, but like they've completely neutered Ryback. Like the fans do not care about him. Like that's all he really had going for him was the fact that the fans were into him when they were cheering for his shit. Now it's just like, oh, it's that guy. Like he's getting boring chants during his matches. They did a boring chant during his match with Kane. Like I heard he had a
SmackDown match. I didn't see it. I just read, but I heard like a lot of people said it was like really good. It was him versus Daniel Bryan.
Of course. You can't. There's never a match with Daniel Bryan that isn't good.
I mean,
well, they were giving the credit to the Rybacks.
I like how Daniel Bryan called him the Ryback in his promo.
Did he?
Yeah, he was like, "Tonight I challenged the Ryback." He's always calling him that on Twitter. Oh man, I don't like what was going on with this Raw. Why did it just feel like it felt like they are just kind of like tiptoeing along until the pay-per-view? Like they weren't really trying to progress anything. It just was all just like blah.
Well, that makes no sense at all because like they only have 4 matches announced for the pay-per-view, so they should be actually getting shit set up for the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Well, they set up a bunch of stuff, but I just mean like in terms of like watching matches and progression, they're like it's like Cena Ryback's a good example. Like okay, they set up that it's going to be a last man standing match, which makes sense because they're playing the whole angle with Cena being hurt with his ankle or whatever. But I just felt like I'm sitting there, I'm just like, wow, nothing, like they're saying things, but none of this matters, and I could probably just stop watching for the next 2 weeks, watch the pay-per-view, and I will be caught up.
Like
that's my plan. So
yeah, it's not like you have to watch in order to be invested in any of this right now for some reason.
I actually, speaking of that, I didn't get to see anything. Did Cesaro fight? I didn't see anything.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights. He beat the living fuck out of Zack Ryder, and
I actually missed that. But yeah,
that was
what is that with Zack Ryder's? His character change that technically isn't changing.
Well, he did that Long Island IC, like, oh, it's coming back, and then
it was like his character change was like just like Twitter.
I think his character change was just, please WWE, please do something with me, please.
This is what I'm
your cage.
I'm thinking he's like doing an unapproved. He's trying to like just change himself, and WWE's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like, they're not giving him permission, or they're not like telling him to do it. He's just trying to do it.
Before he walks out, he puts his hood up so Vince can't see that his hair isn't spiked.
Yeah,
dude, no. But my favorite part of Raw, I'm just glad they had some actual out of the ring. Like, I love when they go to.
I had the belt whipping Sheamus.
What? No. Like, we're at a different location, like where they had Brock going and destroying the Triple H's office or whatever. Like, I always like when they go somewhere else and actually do shit like that. It always adds a little entertainment.
Like when Orton came to Triple H's house.
Yeah,
no, Triple H came to Orton's house.
That was the worst ever. That
and
was
you know what was so awesome with that? I was actually at the Raw there to see Triple H and stuff, and he ended up like showing up at Orton's home and all that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
No, that was the stupidest fucking thing ever. That was the worst build-up to WrestleMania in the history of... Do you remember what was so wrong with that, Bomber? They built up like this personal, intense hatred between Orton and Triple H, and then they're like, if you get DQ'd, you lose. Oh, like, wait, so they can't, like, use weapons and stuff? No, straight up wrestling match, even though Triple H wants to kill him. Like,
and busted up his house and threw him through windows and shit.
It was the worst.
Plus, not to mention they fought already like 30 million times, so you need to add something new in there, some new
element. Had they just let them do an Extreme Rules match at Mania, it would have been fine. It would have been, I think they could have gotten the crowd into too.
Good storytelling, yeah.
Yeah, that was the infamous match where they started the match with hitting their finishers for no reason. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Like, we hit the arcade, we kicked out, all the pedigree kicked out. Wait, couldn't they just do that every fucking match then?
Of course.
What is going
just
on
like
with
Big
this?
Show's punch.
Oh, yeah, no, don't, okay, yeah, when he hit Orton out from behind the entrance ramp, I always think, like, why doesn't Big Show just always try to punch him in the face?
As soon as it starts.
Wrestle him. What's the point? Why wrestle? Just punch him.
Yeah, turn to MMA.
It makes no goddamn sense. And I thought it's illegal, by the way, right? It's illegal in wrestling to hit someone with a closed fist. Yet they're like, oh, it's okay though. It's Big Show. What?
Yeah. It's his finisher. It's a one-time move, supposedly.
I don't give a fuck. No, it's illegal. He should be DQ'd the second he touches him with that fist.
Technically, yes, but they just give warnings. Come on now.
No. That's like saying I could bring in a steel chair, hit Cena over the back once really hard, throw it away, and then pin him. But I only did it once, Bomber. So, I mean, come on.
It's his finisher, yeah.
If I was the ref, I'd let him slide.
It doesn't make any goddamn
I would allow one light tube and that's it. That's all I would let one light tube slide.
So Bomber, are you with me in that like the Boarback is
Ryback?
Awful. He's awful. His promos are fine. That's not my problem with him. I think he's okay promo with heel and stuff, being heel promo, but it feels like like there's like crickets whenever he's doing anything now. Like they neutered him.
I've never really been like obviously a fan of his matches and stuff, but I really hate his new little Ryback rules thing. That's like really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That I really hope somebody gets that tattooed on their ass cheeks or something one day. But no, I
like his Twitter though.
His Twitter? What do you mean his Twitter? What does he do on Twitter?
Nothing.
What?
You don't like his Twitter or his little picture there?
I do not follow him on Twitter. I do not.
Yeah,
well, Job Radio does follow him on Twitter.
I mean, yes, we as a group, I personally don't follow him because I don't have an account. By the way, if you're listening to this, follow us on Twitter.
Hashtag Jobber Radio. I mean, at Jobber Radio.
At hashtag Jobber Radio. Hey, I'm still new to Twitter, so I'm still learning it. But no, Ryback, no. He's never been like a fucking interesting fighter to me at all, a wrestler at all. He's just been. They brought him in a good timing. They made him a good like powerhouse dude, and he's just been average.
What killed him is when he got put into the Hell in the Cell with Punk, and he had to lose.
No, see, I don't agree. I thought his momentum died when Mark Henry fell on him and pinned him. Because, like, even though he's one of those guys for some reason that he could lose a million matches, but the fans still wanted to chant and get along with him. But, like, really, you built up this guy, like, I'm going to pick you up and beat you, Mark Henry. Uh-oh, Mark Henry fell on me and pinned me. And then all of a sudden, like, Cena, I'm a bad guy now.
Yeah. But it's just main event, like, really, like, just felt fucking weird, though. It seemed so random against Kane.
It seems forced. It seems like why would Ryback, like, they're not properly explaining why Ryback's a douche to Kane and Daniel Bryan. I understand why he's a douche to Cena. Actually, I think that makes tons of sense. Mm-hmm. But really, what did Kane and Daniel Bryan do to him? Like, it's lazy storytelling. They're like,
didn't they even have a match?
What?
Like, wasn't Team Hell No and Ryback versus Shield?
Yeah, they were. Well, I mean, I guess like that's really all they had to do is say Ryback could have been like, "Hey, I teamed with those guys once and they let me down." Boom, there you go. Then I could accept it. But he's just like, "I'm gonna treat you like shit because you used to be a monster." Blah.
Yeah, he's gonna try to be like this, like the generic kind of bad guy stuff.
I hate that. I hate it when they turn somebody heel and they're just the most generic. Like, okay, you're a bad guy now, so now you hate all the good guys. And what was up with that ending? Was Shield just like totally looking like a bunch of like stupid bitches?
Yeah.
What happened? Like Roman Reigns just slid out of the ring and didn't even bother getting back in.
Because Kane was there, man. He was afraid of Kane.
No, Kane rolled out.
Oh, I don't know then. What the fuck?
Yeah, because remember they destroyed, Kane got destroyed by Ryback, and then he rolled out, and Daniel Bryan and Cena were in there. So Daniel Bryan took out the other two.
Yeah, he did the suicide dive. Yeah.
But then Reigns just ended up like rolling out of the ring, and Ryback just stood up like victorious, and I'm like, what? What happened to Shield?
Hey, that just shows you, Dan. I was about to say Dan Ambrose. Dean Ambrose wouldn't back out. He's the man.
Yeah, he did though. He took that weak ass move from Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he's
suicide dive.
Like, every time I watch like the Shield, like I just feel he's the weakest link. I don't know.
You're just trying to piss me off. Don't even start. Don't we?
How? Wait, do you like him?
Episode.
Do you like?
There's a lot of people.
Daniel Ambrose.
He might be like giving you shit, but I'm not kidding. There's a lot of debates I've seen going on saying that they think Ambrose is the weakest of the bunch.
Well, son of a bitch, there should have been a crossfire right there. I would have been ready to go with that one.
No, because I agree with you. I think he's the strongest one, hands down. I mean, they wouldn't be putting him over in almost all of the pins and also giving him a singles match with Taker if they didn't think.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I actually posted on the forums that I wanted to see. I want to see Ambrose and Taker again. I want to see it happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. But
I know.
I thought when Cena and Daniel Bryan were in the ring, I thought that's what was going to happen, was the lights were going to dim and Taker was going to appear in the ring to help him out. But apparently he's just gone. That's that. So
yeah, they brought him off of TV. But...
Yeah, we'll probably see him next year, probably.
Yeah.
He just put his match in with Dean Ambrose and he was gone.
But as you can see, they hated Raw.
Well, I didn't say it was terrible, but
I thought it was terrible.
I haven't said anything positive, and we're going to keep that trend going because we're going to jump right into the Raging Roundtable.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Rom, what do you want to rant about tonight?
Their treating of the IC title is fucking pathetic. At least I don't like what they did with the US title when they took it off of Cesaro and then had Kofi Kofi be the champion. But at least Kofi is doing something. So that, I mean, that's fun. I thought Kofi and Kofi's little moment with the Shield was great. That was actually one of the highlights of Raw, was that match. Even though the Usos can suck a dick, they're terrible. But Kofi flying around with Shield was great. But Wade Barrett is he wasn't a dominant champion before going into Mania or anything, because he wasn't really beating anybody. But they have Miz beat him, right, in 3 minutes. I mean, he basically just destroys Barrett and takes the belt from him. Then the next night on Raw, they give the belt right back to Barrett, which to me says that they just wanted to have a nice, happy way to open up Mania, and that's why they had Miz do that. So they give the belt back to Barrett. Obviously, I thought that meant that they had something going for him, right? Like, there's some kind of a plan. If you're going to give the belt right back to him, they want to do something with him. He's consistently done nothing. Exactly. Fucking nothing. And he's the IC champion. So then tonight on Raw, they do, Sheamus versus Barrett. Mm-hmm. Barrett ends up jobbing out to Sheamus, which I don't have a problem with, because Sheamus is seen as a world champion contender and Barrett's IC champion, so it's not a big deal to me. The problem I had was that Henry comes in and Barrett just rolls out, and Barrett's basically just nothing. It was really, they literally just fed the IC champion to a non-title feud. If they're really, really that uninterested with pushing Barrett as the IC champion, why don't they just give the IC title like Sheamus or Mark Henry or something?
Ooh, because then
they a couple months ago, weren't they even gonna have the show main event? Wasn't that supposed to be featured around the IC title?
Yeah, it was gonna be
the second
push titles. Well, a couple months ago, before Mania, they were building up to Barrett versus Sheamus at Mania, and then all of a sudden they just fucking flipped the whole goddamn card around. They literally felt like they threw a bunch of names into hats, and they were like, okay, it's gonna be, I guess we're not doing Barrett versus Sheamus, because now we're gonna do Sheamus in the 6-man tag for some reason, and Barrett's just gonna fight Miz. We don't know why, but he's going to. They're not sticking to anything, and it's just why is the IC champion so fucking unimportant?
That's hilarious, because that's almost the same as my roundtable, almost kind of my roundtable.
Yeah, I mean, at least did you guys see Cesaro versus Kofi on main event?
I did not know, not on main event.
It was really good. Cesaro,
Well, their match when Kofi won the title, that was a great match.
Great.
Too.
Yeah, it was great.
Even though I was disappointed with the outcome, it was still great. The ending sequence of that match.
Yeah,
was great.
I loved how he rolled through Cesaro's legs and flipped him up and then kicked him with the Trouble in Paradise. That was awesome.
As much as I was like, damn it, but it was like, it's a great match.
And the U.S. title thing also looks like it's kind of all over the place. It looks like their contenders are Kofi, Cesaro, and Big E, and also now, Dean Ambrose. So is that your crossfire?
No, not quite, but
Raging Roundtable.
Raging Roundtable.
Yeah, by the way, we were supposed to do a crossfire night, but we changed our minds.
We all agreed. We agreed on all the topics.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll bring that on the next episode.
Raging Reach Around.
The Raging Reach Around. That actually sounds pretty fun.
Ran about some light tubes. Let's hear it. Some light tubes.
No. Brian from FTW actually brought something up on the forums that really it's kind of already been addressed in the past, but it actually involves the Divas title / Divas division / TNA's knockouts. How irrelevant, how fucking worthless right now are the Divas and knockouts in wrestling? Seriously, they have and my main thing that what I said is related is because of title oversaturation is what they want to call it. Title oversaturation. Holy shit. The Knockouts title has been held by every woman on that roster at least 5 times. That's not even exaggerating. It makes every match, it just seems like it's worthless. It makes it pointless. Not just because it's TNA. But it makes it pointless. I feel the exact same way. Besides Caitlyn, she's a little fresh, but besides her, they got nothing else going on. They got no other divas that are worth a fuck, in my opinion, right now. It just, as much as first of all, I am not a hater of women's wrestling at all, but right now, they have no fucking use in wrestling. Right now,
well, that's why they have that new reality show.
Yeah, exactly.
E Network.
That's fucking
exclamation point.
that to me, I would rather watch that before I would rather watch any Divas match or knockout match. I would rather watch whatever fucking I heard about. I know the Bellas are on it. I would rather watch that before I watch because they just seem so boring. There's nothing new anymore out there. They need to think of something.
Caitlyn, the only reason Caitlyn isn't fun is because they're not doing anything with her. Like when you actually watch her wrestle, I like the fact that she's doing a bunch of power moves, which you never see WWE women, at least the knockouts do it all the time.
Yeah.
But you don't see the divas doing power moves. It was refreshing to see her as champion, but then they just kept her off Mania, keep her off pay-per-view. She's rarely on Raw unless it's a backstage thing. It's just like they don't do anything with her, and she could easily be their next Trish Stratus. She's not going to be as good in the ring as Trish was.
Yeah.
But she's fun. The fans seem to get behind her, but yet they're just going to end up giving it to AJ and just forgetting about her, and that's the end of that.
Yeah. Now when AJ wins, I guarantee you she's just going to hold the title and stand beside Ziggler. She's not going to be defending it every other week.
Yeah.
Not that Caitlyn doesn't do it because she doesn't do it really that much. So, but I don't know. It's not their fault. I'm not saying this is any of the Divas' fault. I'm saying that this is just everything just seems so already done and played out in TNA right now, and WWE's it's just lack of direction, lack of just giving us fresh shit. And the Divas, there's just so few of them. You got to keep it fresh, and it just seems like pointless. Like that AJ match, you said you went through it tonight, right?
I went through the whole. I didn't even see who won.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just if they're gonna use them, fucking come up with shit. Up with shit. And that's
now the Bellas are basically their main focus. Like AJ and Caitlyn are just kind of on the side, but the Bellas are main focus just because of their TV stuff.
Yeah, and they brought them back for that show, not for fucking wrestling. So I mean, what the fuck?
Yep. I say give the belt to one of the fucking Bellas. Then if their main focus is gonna be the Bellas, then make them the main focus.
Fuck, that's what they did with Rock when he came back.
Yeah, and I remember a couple years ago I would have said differently. I always was kind of pissed that they would give the belts to the main people they were promoting. But now that I think about it, I'm like, well, I mean, it fucking makes sense. I hated it when Punk was champion and yet Cena was main eventing all the pay-per-views. It made no sense. I would have honestly rather seen Punk do some awesome matches and just give the fucking belt to Cena because your it basically is a slap in the face to the champion. If the non-champion is the one that you're focusing on, it makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. Why isn't that person who isn't the champion that's being promoted like he's a champion go after the title holder and try to get it? Like, why even bother having these singles matches if you're the best? You want to be the champion, right?
Exactly.
But it doesn't seem like that's the case anymore.
Perfectly into my roundtable.
Does it now?
Yes, my roundtable is well. It's not like I hate it. It's more of like my opinion, I guess. It's that the world champion feels a lot more prestigious than the WWE championship. I don't know if it's just me.
I think the opposite.
You do.
You mean right now, this instant, or just overall?
Now, I just don't with Cena on the title. It just doesn't, feel like anything.
The fucking new age Hulk Hogan.
Cena.
Yes, Cena.
They're talking about Big Show.
Fucking Big Show. Yeah, that's exactly who I was talking about.
The new age Hogan, the Big Show.
The most random fucking. I thought you meant Big Show. No. Yeah. Okay. Why? Why do you feel that then?
I see. That's the thing. I don't know. It's like Ziggler. It feels like just like the title is the main focus. And for Cena, it's I'm Cena, I'm the focus, and this title just looks good on my, on my shoulder. When I take my belt off and it's still there on my T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, I actually did see that T-shirt and I thought that was pretty lame. But no, I actually brought that up. I think the last show where I talked about how Cena was. It just feels empty with him being champion right now. That title just feels a little empty to me right now. Because almost the same thing. It's just they're not doing anything new with it. They're just having him fight Ryback, and obviously.
I mean, at least at this point, I'm sure maybe a couple months, but maybe it's Ryback. I don't know. It's just maybe it's that I'm not interested in Ryback and Cena, and I care about Ziggler.
Yeah, I mean Ziggler. I like him as champ. He's good.
But
I think
another
it's 'cause
thing is,
it
do you
took
guys
Punk
do you
away.
guys also feel that it's pointless having two world champions with no separate brands?
I mean, they could work both ways. They could easily put the belts together and whatnot, but I don't think it really is taking anything away because you wouldn't have Ziggler as champion right now. You just have Cena. And if Cena's the one that you're like, oh man, it's fucking feels like shit, then you'd 100% feel like shit. At least they're giving us an awesome Dolph Ziggler run during a boring Cena run. Otherwise, you just would have had boring Cena and that's it.
True.
What I do hope though is come
But-
Money in the Bank is that they don't do like they just have like I hate it when they have two Money in the Banks for each title.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I just
Oh yeah, they're going to.
they are.
I agree, it's stupid. I don't.
They gotta
And
pick
they,
matches.
if you have one like Money in the Bank, you can have for just one to cash in at any title. You can also have a better Money in the Bank instead of having one Money in the Bank with like a Tyson Kidd or then another one with Hornswoggle and Big Show and
Yeah,
But-
the reason they have a reason why they do that though. I mean, they're pretty much. It's like they're watering down everything they do. It's weird. They stole that shit from TNA. Because remember, TNA is the one that started doing the whole like gimmick pay-per-views, and then
Lockdown.
WWE started doing it. It's so weird. It's like in the old days, it was just storyline. Like let's tell a good story. Now it's like I'll throw him in a cage, or ladder match, last man standing match.
True. Yeah.
They fought twice before. Let's do a steel cage match this time around.
Yeah, well, you can do multiple times facing someone and still make it interesting. Like I remember
example when we were talking about WrestleMania 25, Orton and Triple H hate each other.
Oh, that was the worst.
Extreme Rules match, personal, good storytelling.
It should have been a hardcore match, but like
Should've.
the Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio feud, they had like 4 or 5 pay-per-views with only like the last match being a ladder match or a hardcore match. I think it was ladder match. But like that was great. You know why? Because it was fun watching Eddie be a bad guy. It was fun watching Ray chase after him, and it was like that was good storytelling.
I do remember
But
that.
now,
That was good.
if they did that nowadays, though, it would just be like the first match would be a singles match, then the next match would have been a ladder match, then the other match would be a cage match, and then the final match would be like a loser titty fucks like Rey Mysterio's cousin match or something.
That sounds pretty interesting, to be honest with
She
you.
is not good looking.
Oh, okay. Well, then, it
Can you
depends.
imagine
But,
Eddie wins and Ray has to titty fuck his own cousin?
Oh my god.
He's looking over at Eddie and he's like, Eddie, no!
Oh my god.
This is my cousin, Eddie, no!
Oh man.
All right, okay, bringing it back. Gimmick pay-per-views. Extreme Rules. That's a gimmick pay-per-view, and that's in like 2 weeks, maybe a week.
Yeah, May 19th. Yep.
Okay, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll start with you, Bomber, this time. Are you excited for Extreme Rules?
Eddie, no!
I knew you were gonna come back to that. I knew you were fucking waiting.
Eddie, don't make me do it!
Oh my god.
My question is, what does Rey Mysterio say to all the kids?
I actually want to see the picture of the cousin that you're talking about. I've never seen.
I don't know. Eddie, no!
But anyway,
Orale, Ray, fuck those titties, Holmes.
you are the worst person in the world.
Kicked off the air.
Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. I just want to say that.
Whew.
Rest in peace.
All right, Extreme Rules. We have a couple Extreme Rule matches.
Extreme Rules. Yeah, well, as of us recording this right now, there's only 4 matches announced in the pay-per-views in 2 weeks. So I mean, I don't know what all they're planning on adding. I know. I hope they're going to add a tag team title match in. Shield versus Team Hell No. Hopefully, I know there's been talking about that. I don't know what they're going to do with. I also heard Big E's probably going to be getting a title at the pay-per-view. I don't know if that's going to be true or not.
I kind of looked to me like they were setting up the 4-way that I was talking about for the U.S. title.
4-way?
With,
Okay.
Ambrose.
No, they have to say that for the Fatal 4-way pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Fatal 4-way.
Yeah. When are they going to do WWE singles match?
I wouldn't.
I'm waiting
That's
for
a pay-per-view I
I'm
wanna
waiting for a WWE's new Thursday night show, WWE wrestling match, because they got main event.
They don't use the word wrestling anymore.
Yeah,
I
it would
mean,
be, it'd be entertainment contest.
Yeah,
Entertainment. Show off. Showdown. No, the matches right now, looking at them, the only one that like stands out big is the ladder match. I mean, the Del Rio, Ziggler, and Swagger. I mean, I don't know how they don't sound like... Ziggler's the only one that strikes me as like a good in a ladder match like style, but I'm sure they can pull something off. I know Ziggler can definitely carry some shit going in there. And of course, I mean, he better win. I mean, I assume he's gonna win.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the match of the night. I don't even think there's any doubt about it. It's the most interesting build. At least it feels like they all want the title. It's not just like they're dicking around because they got nothing better to do. They all want the World Heavyweight title, and it shows.
And I liked how they didn't just forget about Jack Swagger.
I was just about to say that. I'm surprised they didn't like.
Yeah. Because I thought they did that. I thought they kind of did good. How like they brought Swagger into it, except when Swagger beat Ziggler clean on Raw, whenever that was. But do you think?
Night after, wasn't it, I thought.
Yeah, it was the night after, and that's what everyone was like.
Two nights after. It was his first night as champion.
Yeah, because it was the week after. Yeah. But do you think they're gonna run with Ziggler? I mean,
yes. He's not losing. Yeah, there's no way.
But do you think he's gonna have a good title reign?
Yeah, I mean, who else? Look at their roster right now. Who else could really carry it?
Yeah.
I think Swagger would do a good job as champ.
No, but they need somebody that people actually want to watch.
I honestly think I really wish they would have turned Ziggler face.
I mean, Swagger himself by himself would be horrendous, but I think with Zeb is enough entertainment to keep it fresh and interesting.
Come on, Swagger is not going to ever draw people to an arena. And Ziggler's, even though he's in his infancy of being champion, people actually are getting buzzed about him and stuff and liking him. Like, I could even see eventually they're going to turn him face. It's a matter.
Well, the thing is, I really wish they would have turned him face when they were thinking about doing it, but they gave Miz the face turn. Because I have a good feeling Ziggler could do, he can be an awesome face. He can do face and heel. Miz, he's kind of just...
I thought Miz was going to be an amazing face. I was fucking wrong.
I just have it like if Ziggler and Ric Flair, I thought they would have made a Ziggler because people like.
No,
you're just saying that because they both got like their hair.
Yeah. Ric Flair should never be a protege of anyone ever. What's he gonna do? Teach Ziggler how to lose all his money and divorce 4 ex-wives?
Yeah, cheat on everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, Ziggler's thing, stealing the show and your girlfriend.
His only real guy will be Triple H.
Okay, but you know what? Ziggler should be face, not Miz. That's what I'm getting.
No, I go either way.
Do you think he's even going to be on the fucking card?
No.
Was he even on Raw?
He's filming a movie right now or something.
Oh, what is it? Fucking Marine 7?
I think it's 12 rounds.
Well, actually, you're right. It might be the Miz fucking a bunch of Marines 7. He's Miz fucking 7 Marines. I would pay to watch that.
Did you see the trailer for 12 rounds?
I did not.
Yeah, it's awful. It looks so bad.
It seemed like Orton was just bored.
Yeah, he's doing his heel Orton face and everything. It's funny. Hey, Bomber, though, can you imagine that, though? What if Miz was, having to, titty fuck a bunch of really hot guys, and he's looking over at Triple H, he's like, no, Paul, no!
Oh, my God. What kind of guys are we talking about? Because if he's titty fucking guys...
Eddie, no! It's my cousin, Eddie!
My familia!
Oh, my God. You know what? They should bring Rey Mysterio.
Are you excited for Extreme Rules?
Who are you asking, Zion?
If Ray will titty fuck his cousin, then yes. Well, watch that.
That'll be what makes you interested. Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah, I will.
No, hey, you know what? Fuck Rey Mysterio. I just want to put that out there before we continue any farther.
Worst world champion of all time. I mean.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I agree.
Who the hell does he think he is being the world champion?
Oh my God. Let's see. What are the Triple H and Lesnar match? You guys excited about seeing them go at in the cage?
It'll be fun, but it's going to be the main event too. It's going on last, but it's just
wait, what?
God damn it! I don't want to see them fight anymore. I'm over it.
What do you mean it's going on last?
It's going on last. I
guarantee. Yeah, that's what I would fear.
Over the championship, the WWE title?
I guarantee it is going on last. There is no fucking way. They know Ryback isn't getting over as a heel. There's no way they're going to make that last. So Triple H Lesnar will be the final match on the card. I guarantee it.
I just hope this match isn't just Lesnar beating the crap out of Triple H for about 30 minutes and then Triple H hit the pedigree on.
Lesnar's winning. Triple H isn't going to get the win on this one. He got his Mania win. That's good enough.
Yeah. Because Yeah, he got his win. Yeah, there's no way he's gonna win this. Lesnar's gonna win, then Triple H is gonna start fading off because they're not gonna keep this going that much longer.
Yeah.
No, this is they were originally not gonna, have this yet, but with certain, what happened with the Rock, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if both after this match they both just go away again, unless
they're both gone. Lesnar especially will not be seen again until SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Where they will fight again.
Yeah, and they'll yet again lose yet another person on their roster that's already they're hurting right now for people. They're hurting badly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Punk being on has just destroyed the show because they were relying so heavily on him before.
You know who they need? They need a couple of
CZW guys.
No, they need a couple of awesome backyard wrestlers like what we used to be.
I wanted to say something about cage matches. I just wanted to say before we went into that I'm not that big of a fan of cage matches.
Neither am I. They're all the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
they never change.
Rey Mysterio found a couple cage matches, and I just can't.
I mean, they're all the same match. Watch any cage match. It's literally the same fucking match. There's no way to really change it up.
No, I know, because it's limited. It's much more limited than a singles match.
And it's common too. It's more,
Yeah,
it's like a common thing in wrestling.
One of my favorite cage matches of all time was Magnum TA.
Oh wow.
Versus who was is it Tully Blanchard?
Oh wow, maybe
yeah. I think that was who it was, and I would say it's one of my favorite, but I can't remember their fucking names. But
definitely my favorite.
Watching an old school cage match of that era versus a newer thing, they were brutal back then. How they finished that match, Bomber?
How's that?
A fan had thrown in a chair, which is wink, wink, a fan. I'm sure it was planning.
Yeah.
But they threw in a wooden chair, right? And so Magnum, he ended up shattering the chair. He grabbed the broken end of the chair and he stabbed Tully in the face. And you literally saw it. You saw it burying into his forehead, and he was bleeding like crazy, and he tapped out from that.
Now, see, that's how cage matches are done right there.
That's
broken chairs and fucking stabbing people.
Yeah, they just can't really do them right anymore. That's why I always say that they really shouldn't even do Hell in a Cells anymore either. Because what's the point? Mm-hmm. They can't get extreme with them.
No, not.
Well, they have the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
The Heck in a Cell.
Yeah.
Did they? Are they still going to do that one, or is that?
Yeah, they're gonna have another Hell in a Cell. Yeah, I think it's in September, October, some shit like that.
I think that was one of my roundtables once. How big?
How it's tall now or something. That's right. Yeah. The only finish that I can really remember from cage matches is I know it was Stone Cold and I think it was McMahon. And
no, it never happened.
Yes, and that's where Big Show came out from under the ring and threw Stone Cold into the cell.
Yeah, I was saying Valentine's Day Massacre.
And it busted open and he fell on the ground. That was pretty awesome.
That was awesome. That was fucking great because you were just what the hell? Big Show when they were calling him Paul White.
Yeah, they were calling him Paul White.
This guy in a black
big
diaper,
and nasty.
Yeah. But that's one of the finishes that I remember from all the cage matches that take place. But other than that, I'm not a big fan of those. But.
Can you imagine if they'd stuck with the Big Nasty and he's still to this day, they were like, oh, it's the Big Nasty.
That was a real thing?
He was the Big Nasty Paul White. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. They didn't start calling him Big Show until later on.
I remember Paul White. I don't know if they were calling him Big Nasty.
Yeah, I mean, look it up. I am pretty confident
it was just Paul White, but
I definitely remember Paul
White.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
That's what it's there for. That's what we base our show around. Actually.
I tried to put Big Nasty Paul White into a Google search engine and automatically thought it was porn. Of
course.
It won't show results.
Oh, you got safe search. I like that. Smart move.
I think that's automatic.
Oh.
But Bomber came up with this idea. He wanted all of us to talk about our old school backyard wrestling days, since we were all former professional backyard wrestlers.
Yeah.
I was probably the best of all of us, but that goes without saying.
Of course you were. You had the best selling I've ever seen, actually.
Yes. I guess the best way to start this off is just I'll just go to each of you and basically just basically say how long you did it, maybe what your name was, or just some basic stuff to get this conversation started. B-Rex, why don't you start here?
I hate you so fucking bad, Peanut.
Hey, you said no B-Dog.
I know, yeah, and you fix it with a dinosaur reference. I like it. But no, I got the idea. I was talking with some of the other network guys, and I found out that
Double A.
No, it was Tyler from TNT Power. Anyway, I found out that he was a backyard wrestler, and nobody else on the network really was. And I know 3 of our 4 cast members, or whatever you want to call us, all used to backyard wrestle, so I figured we should talk about it. But anyway, I started back like when I was in 5th grade. No shit. 5th grade. Week? You're still in 5th grade, Peanut. Shut the fuck up. But no, standard trampoline shit. We got a VHS tape.
Ugh, trampoline. Oh, you're a tramp tartar? Oh.
I was. I started out. I was.
Let me guess. You were the Trampoline Wrestling Federation.
Trampoline? No, it was actually called JT.
Combat Trampoline Federation.
No, we just named like our names, like JTEW, which was like our main people that started it, and we had like Jake, Tim, Elias Wrestling. That was the name of our thing, and we had those 3 guys as like the owners, like, and we would just do all kinds of crazy shit. Like we would have our wrestling. I noticed that the way we did backyard wrestling was a lot different than everybody else. The way everybody else does backyard wrestling. Everybody has like.
You mean ours was good and actually looked like the product, and yours was just on a trampoline?
No. Back in the day, yes, I agree. It was the fucking jumping around trampoline and hitting each other with fucking
aluminum cans.
No, well, later on, yes, but it started out with like stupid shit, like fun doodles and stuff. But anyway, we would have like myself, I would have like fucking 10 different characters. I would have like multiple different people, and we would switch out and just that way it always changed, and it would be fun, and we would be somebody different each match. It was really fun. I noticed like nobody else does that or ever did that.
Well, we did similar, but we were just being WWF people.
Oh, really?
So we actually wore their costumes. I can show you a video right now of me being Kane.
You being Kane?
It was my okay. You might laugh a lot. Now this was it says 150,000 views on YouTube, by the way.
Excuse me?
150,000 views. Yeah, for some reason people
views here because
they know that I am amazing. Here, this was okay. I gotta set this up for you first before you watch this, Bomber.
Okay.
This was when he was demasked, right? When he took off the mask.
I remember.
And we always thought he looked a little ridiculous with that bozo hair he had.
Yeah.
So I took off my mask, being Kane, and I just linked you right now into the description. That is gold. 150,000 people have seen that video, Bomber.
HBW. I want to explain that.
Dear God in heaven. Dear God in heaven. Now, I know obviously if you're listening, you can't see this video, so I'll post it on the message board. I'll post it in the Java radio section. But what the fuck is going on in this video?
I had a raccoon hat.
I mean,
I wore the raccoon hat instead of the mask.
You know what? Nothing we can ever do will ever beat that. We're pretty much that's it there.
Thank you for tuning in to Java Radio.
Yeah. The thing that we did was that's how we started. We started doing like WWF people. Like I was Kane. I was The Rock at one point. God, I can't even remember. I was like Matt Hardy. I also played Booker T, and I made him an extreme racist towards white people, and I was called Booker Man.
Nice.
So that was good. And then we had our own characters as well in the mix. My first character was the worst name ever. I was called Heat.
Heat?
Yeah, isn't it the worst?
Nice.
It's so bad. So then we ended up moving to my friend's house, and I was like, well, my middle name's a lot cooler than Heat, so I was just going to be Zion. Well, I was like, well, Matt Zion has a nice ring to it, so I just went by Matt Zion.
Time the fuck out. Zion's like really, that's
my middle name.
That's your middle name. I thought that was just like a wrestling name that you came up with.
No, that's my middle name.
Interesting.
Opened up the dictionary and...
It's a Bible, or a hill in the Bible.
A hill in the Bible, you know what?
It's my grandparents' last name, so that's where I got it from.
Well, that's pretty. I learned something new every day. Look at that.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a wrestling thing you came up with.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably the one that uses his real name.
Probably, yeah. What about you, Peanut? I know you got some something awesome to tell us.
Well, basically, when I technically
first of all, make fun of my ring. Tell me what kind of ring you had.
What did Peanut use? I want to know.
I used the hard ground, and I took the craziest bumps on the ground.
Exactly.
All right, let's start there. I learned to break fall or bump at the age of 4. That's That's when I was jumping off my front porch, front flips, landed on my back. That's what I did.
Fucking having Down syndrome. What the fuck do you mean you learned how to bump when you were 4?
I saw Kane give a choke slam, and I choke slam, and I started choke slamming myself.
You started choke slamming yourself. Wait, I don't remember flips being in choke slams though.
Well, it
led to flips.
Carried away. Then I saw like someone do a backflip, and then like at the age of 4, I learned a backflip, and basically I was the best. So when it
what was the name
you can't even stick to your own bullshit. You're laughing at your own bullshit right now.
What was the name of your company or your backyard company, whatever you want to call it? Federation.
The thing is, when we actually, me and a bunch of friends formed the federation, we had a couple names, but mostly because these two kids always fought and argued over who was the chairman, which I always thought was stupid because, we can't have a chairman. We're a backyard.
Of course.
But the one
Yeah, we did.
I mean, yeah, but like they
Everybody
legitimately
did.
The person that owns the camera is the person running the show. That's usually
that's not true. That's not true.
Really?
But,
okay, so I'll let Peanut finish. I'll tell you about.
But the one that we're known by the neighbors was Amateur Wrestling Federation, AWF. That's what we were known by.
It sounds good. I like the name sucks, but I like AWF. That just flows off the tongue. That's good.
I honestly think that's how it started off, and then we're like, what does it mean? And I was like, Amateur Wrestling Federation.
There you
go. No, we had a guy that was
like I'll link a video. So while you guys talk,
I do. I want to see. We had a guy that was commissioner, but he was the hot dog guy, and then he became the commissioner from being the hot dog guy.
Wait, you mean you guys had a hot dog guy?
Yeah, it was our friend Nick. He's done a few shows with us, but he would show up and just cook some hot dogs for people every once in a while. Really? And one day we were just like, I think you're going to be our commissioner because you always showed up. So no, the people that owned the camera and put the most money in were not the ones in charge.
Who owned the camera? Was it your camera and stuff?
I had one of the cameras, and one of the other guys owned the camera. It was Frost owned the other one.
Gotcha. The guy that
okay, I want to see this. This is going to be great.
The guy that disappeared, right?
Well, I'll just say my gimmick. I wanted to be AJ Styles, so my gimmick was the phenomenon of AWF.
Are these little kids like playing on a field? Like what is?
This is the video I made of.
How old were you when this happened, though?
Yeah, seriously.
When these were all filmed, this was my 8th grade year.
You do the Pele better than Paul Burchill. I'll give you that.
So you were in middle school
during these, yeah. Except the one match.
I see you guys aren't afraid to wrestle at night. That's pretty hard to do.
That's when we put on our show. Exodus was our big one.
Oh, Exodus makes sense.
Yes.
I mean,
wrestling at night's kind of a bitch because it never comes out good on camera.
Yeah. Well, I tried to do my best to color correct it, but you can only do so much.
So, are you aware that there's at least 10 mature gay men that have masturbated to your body?
Yeah.
I hope so.
In the past 5 minutes.
I always applaud myself at 120. You caught that section.
Wait. I just passed 120. I didn't see anything impressive, so I'm gonna go back.
I didn't see anything impressive. Let me go.
Oh, you did some kind of a flip-up spinneroonie thing.
Was that your? Did you choke slam yourself?
All right, here's the best part. Around 137, that's when the people watching at home. This is when it gets good.
Yes,
this is where you see.
This is when it gets good. Your editing's not bad though. It's just very uninteresting to watch little children pretend to wrestle. I don't know.
Oh.
That's all no.
Doing Hurricane Radas. Look there.
You got it. Oh yeah. Wow. Wrestling on the ground is not fun, by the way.
That's
I've done it before. It is not fun.
Oh, you just took the chair shot from Hades. Let me tell you.
I like the elevator. That was cool. Elevator on the ground. I fuck bumping on the ground. It was one of my least favorite things to do.
Oh, that's what you got to bump on the ground, man.
I know. It's always
at the age of 4 how to bump on the ground.
Well, I would always take your traditional, like in the big matches that I would have, I would take the suplex on the outside because it didn't really hurt too bad and always got like a nice reaction. But fuck bumping on the ground.
157. I remember that one hurt. Only time I was actually in pain.
The only time you've only been in pain?
It's the gayest bear hug I've ever seen.
It was bad.
Did you guys ever get hurt doing it? That's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
No, luckily no. If anyone, no one else took any bumps except me. Like that was what we were terrible except me. And I wasn't that good. I would just got beat up all the time.
Yeah,
I never like barely did any offense.
I would occasionally dislocate my arms, but that's just because I have like super loose arm joints.
You have the Randy Orton syndrome?
It's like a lighter version of his, because when his dislocate, he has to have somebody pop him back in. When mine do, I just have to kind of move around and get him back in on my own. But what do you ever, Bomb? Did you ever see my match with Tech?
Possibly. I'm not sure. I've seen some stuff.
That was that's the one I basically like. Probably my only match that I would actually be like okay showing people.
Your only match?
Yeah, because it's the only thing I actually think is any good. But that one is, I separated my shoulder early in the match. He did like a plancha onto me on the outside, and it wasn't the move that did it. As I was getting up, I didn't get up I didn't get off the ground the right way, and I put too much pressure on one of my shoulders and popped right out, and the match almost didn't happen. And I was in front of like 30 or 40 people, which for us is a pretty big deal back then.
Yeah.
Now it's just fucking nothing, but.
I should say, what was your ring? Like, what was that?
I just linked a video. It had our current ring we had before we went down.
Oh, good.
We paid for that. It was a boxing ring that we converted into a wrestling ring.
That's good.
Oh.
I will actually want to talk about mine too then, because
I didn't have a ring because I was a man.
Yeah, no. When we first started, we had the trampoline, but we actually progressed and we built. My dad was a professional wrestler, and he actually we went out back and he showed us. We built a ring.
Was he okay with you backyard wrestling?
Yeah, we've just been doing it forever. He actually showed us a little bit how to bump when we first got the ring built. Now, when I say we built the ring, we didn't finish the ring. We started the ring. We got the base and everything up. We got everything done but the ring ropes. And basically my dad kind of fell off helping us, I want to say. And we never done the ropes. So we had a wrestling ring with no ropes.
Huh.
And for our ring, it was all plywood. We had 2x6s, 2x8s for the frames and everything. And we had inch thick plywood with we didn't have a spring or anything. It was just straight plywood. And we had a carpet matting with a canvas over top of it. And that was our ring. Holy shit. You talk about hard as fuck. That was the real deal right there. And
the ground is hard.
The ground is indeed hard, but that ring was pretty fucking. I just put my video in there too, which shows some of our stuff, which I'm sure some.
We are all gonna link all these. By the way,
I've seen your stuff back in the day. I remember that.
Yeah, but but once we started bumping on it, and I remember in particular one time it was choke slam. I got choke slam. I jumped up as high as I could, and as soon as I fell down. When I landed, I looked up and I told my friend Sean who did it to me. I was like, "Dude, I didn't feel a fucking thing." And it was felt so good. I jumped up so high and got slammed right down so flat. Didn't feel a fucking thing. I was like, "Dude, that was it." Only time I ever did that. But that was the slam. It was perfect.
Well, wait, I'm confused. I'm watching your video though. Who is this? Your fatter older brother?
That's when I was much bigger back in the day.
I thought you'd want to explain that to people that you're like a twig now compared to back then.
I wouldn't say a twig, but I was much bigger.
Bro. You're looking good now.
Yeah, I was about 278 was my max. That was what I was back when we were 278 pounds.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10", 5'11", something like that.
Okay.
One of those little shindigs. But yeah, I'm the guy with the longer hair and all that stuff. But yeah, it was so much fun. I had fun.
Oh, yeah. I think that's something else we could talk about is, do you miss doing it?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
I from time to time, yeah. I mean, I put a lot of work into all the shit. I tried.
And that's exactly why I don't miss doing it.
Because
it was me and
I basically ran mine.
Which is Sean on Reckless Eating.
Uh-huh.
And me and him basically did everything from the booking to the making everything to all that crap. So I always tell people that if somebody came along and was like, hey, we want all of you to come to our thing and wrestle, I would consider it. But at this point, I'm just like, I've grown the fuck up and I am done being in pain all the time. Because I remember I had a series of matches with one of our guys that liked doing German suplexes. Mm-hmm. So we had 3 or 4 matches against each other, and every match I would take, between 4 or 10 German suplexes. Jesus. The last match we had, I took 10 in a row. So I'm just like, I literally had like chronic back pain for like 2 years after we stopped wrestling, and it finally let up and was done with. And like, I know I took them the right way. I wasn't not taking them the right way, but my body wasn't accustomed to
Who
bumping.
was the German suplexer? Who was it?
That was Mike Falcon.
Gotcha, Falcon. Got it.
Let's do this.
And
how often did you wrestle? How often did you? You guys.
For me, we try to do about 2 matches, almost 2 matches. Like we tried every weekend, pretty much. We didn't have like a set like show. We didn't have a show. We would go out. We would film like a couple matches, and then once we got like enough for like a show, we would just edit it onto like the DVD. That's how we did ours. We didn't do it all in one day.
Oh, see, we put together, shows.
Yeah, I've wrestled. Yeah, that's another thing that's different. Yeah, we didn't do straight shows. We just did.
I did everything.
We did shows with full storylines and everything. So we did it every 3 weeks is what our timetable was. We tried 2 weeks and it was too much. We tried a month and it was too far away. 3 weeks was kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, we had the storylines and everything, but again, we didn't have anybody. We just did this on our own. We didn't have anybody come watch or nothing. We just did it for fun. I guess I would have liked to have people to come watch it, but
it's such a different beast.
Like, I bet
it is. It's so much fun just wrestling with your friends. Like we would do practice shows where we would just kind of show up to the ring and there's nobody invited, just the guys just messing around and stuff, and those were cool. But to actually have like maybe the last 5 or 6 shows that we did, we actually would have more than 30 people come watch each time, and that was before we got shut down. But that's why we got shut down, because we had so many people showing up that they were the city was basically.
Did you do it because like like in the video it looked like it's like in the middle of a field.
In my buddy's backyard but they had like a redneck giant backyard, like a horse ranch type thing.
Awesome.
So in the corner we basically built the ring and had it up all the time. Well, the city got so involved in us that they were literally watching our YouTube channel and Facebook accounts and our MySpace at the time accounts. And every time we would start to promote a show, we would get a cease and desist order right away, because you're not allowed to have a show in a zoned area that's for residential only.
Did you guys charge and stuff, or did you just have?
We did. Well, that was one of the things I hated, but we did. Not like you had to pay. What was it? Donations. It was dollar donations. So if they wanted to donate, they could.
Okay.
But what actually fucked us was 2 houses down. There was some place that got busted for doing weddings every weekend. They were renting their property to anybody who wanted to have like a really nice place for a cheap wedding. Mm-hmm. So because of them, the city was coming down on that entire neighborhood, and that's why we ended up getting fucked over. We probably could have went under the radar, but they screwed us over big time.
But you said, earlier you wanted to tell like a story about so why don't you do that?
This is something else we could talk about really quick too. Was the pro wrestlers, trained athletes, the actual people that go through training and get it all done, their hatred for backyarders I've never understood. And because a lot of times, like you'll hear like on Cole Cabana's podcast, like Punk backyarded I think a little bit before with his friends and stuff. That's how a lot of guys get into the business
Evan
by backyard.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah, a lot of them. And like a lot of them, when they're off the record, they don't really seem to hate it as much. But it seems like, I don't know, like some of them, they just pretend to hate it. And some of them really seem to fucking hate anybody that does backyard wrestling. I guess to protect the business is what they're trying to do. Not having kids do it. But like, really, I've never understood that. Who cares what some kids do in the backyard? Like, it has nothing to do with you. So, but one of the stories I was going to tell was when one of our last shows that we did under my Fed was, and our Fed was New Omega Wrestling. We did a thing for the Bob Sagat show, Strange Days, that was on A&E. We beat out I think they said there was like 20 or 30 other backyard wrestling promotions in SoCal that were trying to get on the show, and we sent in. I just sent in a bunch of our videos, and they liked us, and they asked us to do the show. So our very last show we ever did, we actually, the weekend before, we had rented out a hall that was supposed to be our last show. We sold almost 200 tickets, so we had a lot of people there for that. It was all family and friends and stuff. But then the next week, we're all banged up. We had to do the Bob Saget thing because they rescheduled. So we're doing that, and that's fine. Well, I've seen how TV works. They want to get everybody to do everything for free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was getting pissed off because they were just making demands left and right. They're like, we're going to film this here, this here, this here. And we're like, oh, that's not going to work for us. Like, we have jobs. So I told him, I remember flat out I had a conversation with one of the guys. They're all really nice, but I just had it, and I just told them, you know what, I don't think we're going to do this anymore. And they were like, hold on, let me get back to you, and they hung up, and I'm like, good, they're going to fucking give us something, because this is this is fucking bullshit. We're doing this for free, and, like, we're going to look like idiots on TV more than likely. I thought they were going to paint us in a bad image, which they didn't. They actually made us look really good, so, kudos to them. So they came back and they were like, hey, WrestleMania weekend, there's going to be a show with Dragon's Gate. And that's the other people that they're filming with, is Dragon's Gate and us. And they're like, how about we get you into a Dragon's Gate thing, and you can meet some of the wrestlers and you can watch the show for free. And I remember on the conversation I told them, well, I'd love to go and watch the show. I'm like, but I don't really want to meet any wrestlers. Them knowing who we are, they're not going to like us very much. And he's like, no. They'll know you're with Bob and it'll be cool. I'm like, I really don't want to go backstage. Like, I don't want to do that at all. Like, I know how that works, and they are going to, like, we thought there may potentially be violence. Because, like, we're not kids, we are adults. They may try to beat our ass. Mm-hmm. So, eventually he convinced me. He said, like, he talked to Bob. He said Bob said it was cool. He talked to the promoter, and they were like, everything's going to be fine. Like, okay, so we get there. We had to drive all the way to Arizona because I live in California. We get there. First thing they do is Bob Saget comes out and he's like, "Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Like, I'm gonna walk you through their locker room." Oh god.
Oh,
like, I'm like, no, that is Bob. I told him, like, Bob, please don't do that. Like, that's
Please
kind of really bad. None of them understood, like, the reaction we were gonna get. Now, thankfully, there was no violence, but my story involves Jimmy Jacobs.
Oh,
so it's like, you know who Jimmy Jacobs is, Bomber. Do you know, Peanut, who Jimmy Jacobs is?
Yes, I do, actually.
Okay, so he's a Ring of Honor guy, Dragon's Gate guy.
CW2.
So, I don't know we care about it. So he was there, right? Also, the cool thing was some of the people from PWG were there. So, like, some of them knew Sean a little bit because Sean's been training. He had been training with some other friends of theirs. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the only reason we didn't get our asses beat, was they knew who Sean was. So otherwise, they may have potentially kicked our asses. So walking through the locker room, and we're just kind of walking through the backstage. They walk us by the gorilla position, and I looked down the hall, and it was Jimmy Jacobs and do you know who the Cutler brothers are?
I do not know.
Nope. They retired, but they were PWG guys and local SoCal guys. I think they were there. Okay. So I don't know if they were visiting or not, but I know Jimmy Jacobs was there for sure. And I looked down the hallway, and Jimmy Jacobs looks at me and us as we're walking by, and he goes, This right here is exactly why I fucking hate backyard wrestlers." and I turned, and he might have heard me because I said it kind of loud, because at that point I was like, really, I could beat up Jimmy Jacobs. I could probably not take on most of the people in the locker room. Jimmy Jacobs is tiny. No disrespect to Jimmy Jacobs, but I'm a big guy and he's not. So I said it kind of loudly. I looked back at Sean and I said, "Oh, so he hates backyard wrestlers for being on the Bob Saget show." And we just kept walking.
Nice.
that was my highlight, and I never understood. I'm like, really, like, this right here, Bob Saget walking backyard wrestlers to our show is why I hate backyard wrestlers.
Really fucking hates house.
Well, funny thing too is that I've heard nothing but nice stuff about Jimmy Jacobs. Like, everybody says that he's one of the coolest guys ever. Like, a lot of on Colt Cabana's podcast, a lot of people always make jokes and say he's so cool. But like, this is exactly.
He doesn't like wrestlers.
You know what? He had a bad experience watching Full House. Probably threw up as a kid, stayed home. Yeah. And
they tried to actually take us into their dressing room, and I told the producer straight up, I'm like, there's no way they're gonna let us in the dressing room. I guarantee. I'm like, it's enough that they're letting us walk backstage. They're not gonna let us go in the dressing room. And so they started to walk us towards the door, and one of the young bucks saw us coming, and he just shut the door in the producer's face and he wouldn't let him back there. And I just laughed. I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking way they're gonna let us back there. Are you kidding me? Like, they wanted.
Did you feel like uncomfortable? Like during, I could.
Before we walked in, we all did a huddle, and we're like, if something goes down, we're all gonna have each other's back, because like they were not. I heard many things. They were not happy that some backyard idiots were walking around backstage, because you kind of have to earn the right to be back there. And I understood it, but like, hey, whatever. I mean, it was.
Bob Saget didn't want you back there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't know though. I mean, Bob Saget has no idea about it.
There was a Full House episode about professional matches.
Oh, was there? I missed that one.
I didn't know that. They wanted us originally to talk to, I think it was the Young Bucks. They wanted us to talk to the Young Bucks, especially Sean, and have them like give him advice on camera for the show, and that shit didn't happen. And then they wanted us to talk to Roddy Piper, because Piper was supposed to be around because he was WrestleMania weekend. He was with them. That was cool. Like I was down with meeting Piper because I'm like, Piper's not gonna give a shit who we are. Like, and I could get a picture with him. That'd be awesome. And then I guess Piper like blew him off too. So. It was great. That was one of my favorite stories about doing the Bob Saget show, was Jimmy Jacobs being a douchebag.
Well, he hated you, so.
Oh yeah, well, because we being on the Bob Saget show is why he hates all backyard wrestlers.
You know what? I kind of starting to hate you too, because I dislike people being on Bob Saget shows. I mean,
but I think it's safe to say that Rom had the more successful backyard.
Oh well,
wrestling.
that's obvious, yeah. But did he have the most fun? That's the question.
I loved my time doing backyard wrestling. Yeah, it was great.
So did I. What about you, Peanut? Did you love it?
I had a blast until like I realized that I'm 19. I should be in good shape. I'm in pain when I wake up in the morning. So
are you really?
I got terrible knees, and
are you shitting me?
Yeah, I got 2-shot knees, bad back.
You're the Kevin Nash of backyard wrestlers.
Yeah, what? That's true.
Fuck up. You're not... Come on.
I actually broke my wrist backyard wrestling.
I don't know how I didn't honestly break anything.
That's the only injury I ever got, was just a broke. It was closer to the end. It was a broken wrist. I was laying on the mat, and one of my friends decided, hey, I'm gonna suplex this other guy on top of you. Like, he just grabbed him and did the suplex. And at the last minute, I kind of like put my arm up where my elbow was on the mat and my hand was straight up. I don't know if you can picture that or not, but his whole body weight came down on my wrist, which was straight up in the air, and it just like shattered my wrist into my arm.
Yeah. And we had one guy who wrestled with us where like, this was back in 8th grade more so, and like I think he thought wrestling was real.
Really?
So like I would just turn around and like he's trying to like super kick me, or like I'm climbing a ladder and he just kicks it, but that was always dangerous.
Oh, so you had like...
I honestly, it was one time I think I actually had a conversation with him and I was like, you just can't actually kick me in the face, but...
Yeah.
And that's why if you ever get somebody...
true warrior.
If you ever get somebody new, you're supposed to talk to him before you fucking wrestle him.
He was an original. He was an original, and he was like, John Cena is a true warrior. He was a Marine.
What? No, that's kind of what led to our main downfall. Was one of our guys in our group was a little we'll just say too stiff, and one of our other guys is kind of like a little bitch. And they got to the point where he's like, I'm not going to wrestle with him anymore. And then nobody else wanted to wrestle with that guy either. And then it just started like deteriorating to where the guy that didn't want to wrestle this guy, like just wanted to stop showing up. And they were like, come on, man, we got this story that we're in the middle of. And like, no, I'm not going to do it. And like, that's how ours like pretty much.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to end this podcast. Is how did I guess Bomber just said, but how did the backyard wrestling end? So, Ron?
Yeah. Well, it was just the city came down on us, and
you did.
All of us essentially decided that we were just like either too old for it, had families, had jobs, had lives, or the only one that actually tried to keep it going was Sean for himself. He went and got trained and stuff, but then he got a back injury, so he can't do any of that. He took a backbreaker, but the guy threw him down a little too low on his spine, so he just messed him up pretty badly. So he can't bump anymore or anything like that. But I was gonna say, did you guys have like politics backstage? I thought it was weird because we had tons, and we're all like really good friends, right? But there was shitloads of politics for something nobody should care about.
Exactly. Yeah,
that was kind weird. Of our downfall. Just people just like, it was like, we're all good friends, and like it started as just like, we all love wrestling, we all started doing it, and then like got real serious and people started hating each other, and then
all right, let's stop being friends.
Another reason why we stopped is because we were doing it on the ground and we were like, we're gonna get hurt. It's about time. Actually, what I think it was one of these days Matt is gonna get hurt, or Peanut.
What I was gonna say, Bomber, was like, oh shit, I had a point. It's coming back. Oh, it got to the point where, like, I remember two of the guys were having a match. Now, because I was basically the booker. I was one that came up with the matches and stuff. So I'd always ask people what they wanted to do, who they wanted to fight, what they were doing. Too. And these two guys in our group, they literally wouldn't tell us anything they were doing ever. So, because they wanted it to be like a big secret, which I thought was dumb. Because, like, why are you trying to fool the guys that are doing the actual fooling with you? So, like, I remember for like 4 months they wouldn't say a word to anybody. We'd show up and I'd be like, hey, this is what we want everybody to do, and they'd be like, well, we're doing something different. You'd have to like rewrite the whole fucking thing. I'm like, I can't even imagine with the amount of politics and bullshit that went on running a backyard fed. What does WWE have to deal with all the time? It's got to be amazing the amount of crap and politics that they have to deal with on this large scale that they are. It's amazing that they even run as a company.
I'm hoping.
At least they get paid, though.
I'm just hoping that one of Triple H's daughters will be old enough so I can, get into the business. But
where did this as what, a wrestler or like
that's gonna fuck one of the daughters?
I was about to say, are you trying to get in the way Triple H got into the McMahon family?
You gotta get in early though. Peanut, you gotta get in early, so I'd say next couple of years, make it happen.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how old they are, but
my guess is like 2 or 3.
I'm young, I got time.
They're not very old.
You see old couples, one's like 60, one's like about 90. I can make it work. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I can wait.
Give it 30 years and it's fine.
Yeah. But that's it. We backyard wrestle. Peanut was the best. Peanut being me.
You probably were the best in the AFW, I agree.
AWF.
Oh,
Bomber. Bomber will obviously repost all these videos as you guys are listening or already watched them. But that's it. As always, we're gonna do plugs. Rom, do you have anything to plug?
I want to plug your butthole with my mouth, and I want it to be as sexual as a titty fuck between Rey Mysterio and his cousin, while Eddie Guerrero watches from the grave, rotting away.
Wow.
Centuries to come.
That's kind of rough.
Oh, Eddie! Eddie's my cousin, and he can't do it. No, Eddie. Oh no, but I lost the match. I gotta do it.
Dear God in heaven, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you, but yes.
Bomber, you gotta do your plugs now.
Right this instant, you are listening to the TWR Network, Wrestling Entertainment Community. That's what we are. I mean, we got a 24/7 network here. Anything and everything that you need. I mean, we got great writers. We got Brian Cookie Cook. We got Paul Jordan. And we got a little application, by the way. If you want to sign up to be a writer, go up to the top of the website, twrnetwork.com, and apply. We need writers. We always need writers. And basically, if you want to do something and you want it to be seen, apply right now. We're kicking it off on Tuesday nights here at the network, FTW. They've been around the network before. I didn't even know it. They were around before I came, before Java Radio came to the network. You got guys, you got Garvin, you got Rob, you got Lee, you got Harrison, you got Joe. I mean, they put on a really good show. I was listening to it the other day. They got some quality stuff. They have their own blog. You can check anything out on the forums. Just go to it and you'll see all the links. And then Wednesday, of course, we got the double Sida. We got Java Radio kicking things off at 7:30 Eastern Time. You got me, Bomber. You got Peanut, you got Matt Zion, and you got Rab. Half the time you got Rab, half the time you got Peanut. Every so often we will show up, all four of us, and it'll be like the greatest thing that ever happened at 7:30 on the TWR network. But anyway, right after us, we lead right into Shooting from the Hip, my favorite show on the network. I don't know about you guys, but do not miss Shooting from the Hip. Dan Phelps, Michael Classic, Sean Big Daddy Brown. I can't even express how hilarious those guys are. If you want to listen to a funny wrestling podcast, Shooting from the Hip, 9 p.m., do it. Trust me, they won't disappoint. Then Thursday, we got the TNT Wrestling Power Hour. We got Tom, we got Tyler, we got NXT. Their show gets started at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And basically, they're going to give you everything you need to know about the up-and-coming guys of WWE. They give you the good, the bad, and ugly, basically. They're going to let you know who's going to make it and who's not going to make it. It's a really good show. Check it out. They also will not disappoint. So far, the only show that's going to disappoint is probably Java Radio. But if you're listening to this, you probably already found that out. But Friday, we got TGIX. Thank God it's extra. You really don't know what you're going to get. It changes from time to time. It's going to be... we have several different hosts that can be on the show. It can go anything from in-depth bios from Jason Massey to like behind the scenes. I don't want to say drama, but sometimes there's drama. Sometimes we'll give you little tips on what's going to be happening here in the network. Basically, it's a really good show, and you don't know what you're really going to get all the time. It's going to be good. That's all I can say. And then we go to kick your weekend off right with Wrestling Randomness at 7 p.m. We got the Massey brothers, Jason, Justin Massey. They give you like a breakdown of anything you missed throughout the week in wrestling from Raw. They give you the matches, the highlights. They give you TNA Impact. And then, of course, you got SmackDown. And if you missed something during the week, they will let you know what it was. Tune in, and you never know. You might just get another drunk show. That, to me, not going to lie, I pissed myself twice during that show, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one. I'm sure Michael Classic had some fun on that too. But anyway, it was a very good. They're a very good show. Check them out, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, TWR Network, and that's pretty much what we got going on right now. Other than just the shows on the network, we got a forum. We got the forum back up and running. It is nice, it is neat, it is redefined. This is the revolution. Go on the forums. You got the button up at the top of the homepage there. Just click on that and sign up and join in on the discussion. We got all kinds of stuff. Dan is actually doing a booking contest right now. There is a ongoing. You can sign up anytime. All you got to do is post your predictions. We got pay-per-view predictions. Basically, people get pitted against each other, and you rise up the ranks. You can win titles at the network. It's fun stuff. Get on there and check it out. I don't know what else to tell you besides the forums are the place to be. And Glitterfist is basically the community manager, is what we're calling her. She is heading those up, as long as Zeus doesn't screw it up for her, because I think he's trying to do it too. But anyway, TWR Network, basically in a big bundle, is everything you need when it comes to wrestling.
Eddie, no. Oh, no. I babysit her when she's little. Oh, it's so awkward. It's so hot.
Anyways, yes, that is going to have to be it. I have no idea how we timed the show out, but I feel like it went long. What the fuck? Were you holding that the entire time?
I think he was.
Thank you for tuning in to Java Radio, episode number 15. We'll see you next time.
So terrible.